Value-added tax, VAT, is a consumption tax imposed on the value of the supply of taxable goods and services produced and consumed in Nigeria. It is administered and managed by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, which is responsible for the assessment and collection of the tax and accounting for all amounts collected following the provisions of the VAT Act. The VAT rate is currently set at 7.5% with effect from February 1, 2020, on the value of all goods and services, except for goods and services listed under Part 3 of the First Schedule of VAT Act, as amended. It applies to all goods and services consumed in Nigeria, regardless of the location of the supplier. Non-resident persons are required to include Nigerian VAT on their invoices to Nigerian customers. To operate under VAT, businesses need to issue a tax invoice for the taxable supply of goods and services. A tax invoice is a primary evidence for the recipient to claim an input tax credit for goods and services. The Federal Inland Revenue Information Circular Note 2005-01, February 2006, provides requirements for a tax invoice, which includes the name, address, and VAT registration number of the firm that delivers the taxable goods or services, name and address of the person/company receiving the taxable goods or services, description, type, number, unit price and total sales value or consideration of goods sold or purchased, value-added tax, VAT, charged or collected and rate applied, and date of delivery. The VAT Act also clarifies the time of supply of goods and services for connected and unrelated parties. For unrelated parties, supply is deemed to take place upon the issue of receipt or invoice by the supplier, or payment of consideration is due to or received by the supplier in respect of that supply, whichever occurs first. For connected parties, certain intercompany transactions may be subject to VAT where a supply is deemed to have occurred as defined in the Act whether an invoice is issued or not. Section 29 and 31 of the VAT Act provide stiff penalty for failure to issue a tax invoice. A person who fails to issue a tax invoice for goods sold or services rendered is guilty of an offense and liable on conviction to a fine of 50% of the cost of goods or services for which the invoice was not issued. For businesses with a turnover of 25 million naira or more, monthly VAT returns must be rendered to the FIRS. The VAT Act, as amended, Section 15(1), states that a taxable person who, in the course of a business, has made taxable supplies or expects to make taxable supplies, the value of which, either singularly or cumulatively in any calendar year, is 25 million naira or more shall render to the FIRS, on or before the 21st day of every month in which this threshold is achieved and on or before the same day in successive months thereafter, a return of the input tax paid and output tax collected by him in the preceding month in such a manner as the FIRS may prescribe. Businesses that do not meet the 25 million naira threshold are exempt from these provisions, including Sections 8, 2, 13, 29, 34, and 35 of the VAT Act. However, if a taxable person makes taxable supplies amounting to N25 million and above within a calendar year, they are required to file monthly VAT returns to the FIRS, even if part or the whole of such supplies are exempt from VAT. In summary, businesses that are registered for VAT must charge the tax on their sales, and can also claim back the VAT they have paid on their purchases, input VAT claimable, where applicable under the VAT Act. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, is saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that taxpayers remit and file their taxes as and when due, and also enforcing penalties where there is lateness. It is crucial for individuals to seek professional guidance from tax experts to receive personalized advice relevant to their unique circumstances. This statement serves as a disclaimer to remind the audience that the information presented should not be taken as official advice. Instead, it is a general overview of a topic from the perspective of Olatunji Abdulrazak, and it is up to the audience to interpret and use the information accordingly. Thank you.